Yeah. So today we will discuss the topic prototyping and proofing the design. So we will try to understand what is a prototype. What already we have seen details of how models work. So this prototypes, models, and something known as proof of concept. We will try to see the difference. Okay. So we need to translate our design ideas into models and prototypes that can be used to test our design concepts and communicate our ideas to clients. So when we think of designing something, we may have some design diagram, something like that. So that design diagrams we should convert into actual model. Say for example, we want to test a car. We want to design a new car. So initially we will have a model design. We will have the layout. We will have the diagram. Then we will in order to launch it to the market, launch the new version of car into the market, we need to test it. So that testing requires building a prototype. So prototype or models or something like that. So the first step in such a process involves sketching or drawing or design, which can be used to create the prototype. So sketching or drawing we have seen while when we discuss the communicating designs graphically. That section discussed about sketching and drawing. So that sketches or drawing should be converted into prototype or model, so that we can test the efficiency, whether the car works correctly, whether the car, when you think of a driverless car, say for example, now driverless car are becoming popular, at least in foreign countries. So in India also, sooner or later, this driverless car will become a reality. So a lot of experiments are taking place in that direction. So the concept of a driverless car, so the design of a driverless car. So driverless car will have so many components, no? So it will have sensors, it will have camera, it will have GPS, electrical parts, mechanical parts, and electronics part, computer parts. So many components are involved in it. So the design, when we convert into a prototype, we will have a test car, isn't it, with all the required features, with all the necessary features, required features and functionalities that we need to test it. So the 3D representation from a CAD software, you must have heard of the software called the CAD software. So that software can be used to design or develop 3D models of any object. Maybe any mechanical part or electrical part can be constructed using the CAD software. So that 3D model can be given as input to say something like a 3D printing, for example. You would have again heard of this term 3D printing. So 3D printing is a technology where if you give an input file, that file will be printed as a 3D object. Say for example, a new jewelry design, a new design for a necklace. So that design will be done in a 3D model, and when that is input to a 3D printer, it actually gives you the output of that necklace, isn't it? So no manual making required. The printer, the normal printer we used to take printouts of diagrams and letters, so two-dimensional. So here it is a three-dimensional. So maybe another example you can find out in medicine, when somebody requiring artificial limbs or feet or artificial arms, those arms can be constructed using 3D printing. Because the arms and measurements for a particular patient, it might vary from patient to patient. The one arm which fits for a particular patient according to his body language or body features might be different from the other person. So definitely a lot of customization is required. So whatever required for a particular person, say artificial arm or artificial any organ, that can be 3D printed and that can be installed onto the body. So then it will suitably match, correctly match the person's requirements. So that is 3D printing. So that is again a prototype. So prototypes are working models of design. I'll give some examples in computer science. In computer science, when we design a new software, so definitely models are involved, prototypes are involved. So when some company launches a new software, say for example new web application or new mobile application or new operating system or any software, you would have heard of this term alpha testing and beta testing, or alpha version and beta version. So they are actually prototypes. So that software alpha version is the software version, which is the version of the software which is tested inside the company. Beta version is again a software. It is not launched for the public, but it's launched, it's out, it's released for the people to test it. So alpha version and beta version. So beta version of a software is a full-fledged software only, but that is intended for receiving feedbacks from the customers or from the prospective users, from the intended target audience. So they are actually prototypes, isn't it? Prototypes of the software. Then I will give an example of a model. Model, already we have seen mathematical model. So where do we need mathematical model? Say for example, to check the security aspect of a system, of a website or a web application. So we are all interested in security, when we enter our username. Yes.
Sir, students in
ask them to retry.
Try issue same issue.
No, I don't have any idea.
Okay,
why
sir.
There is an issue for somebody. Let him retry.
Yes, sir.
So they are test, so what I was trying to say is alpha version and beta version. So beta version is test, beta version is released for people to test, people to comment, people to give feedback. So they are actually prototypes. And then models. So mathematical models probably will help you to identify a particular feature. Say for example, security aspect. So you are using a cryptography. So you are using, so your username and password, how you are handling the username and password of customers. So maybe you may be using a cryptography. Probably you would have heard of some hashing technologies, and it might be using some public key, private key, and depending upon the number of keys and the length of the type of the algorithm, probably you can construct a mathematical model, and that will tell you how much time it takes to crack the password or crack the username. So isn't it? So that is actually a model, mathematical model. Through mathematics, we are proving that our system is a secure one, our system is safe, or the method of dealing with the password is safe. Or using other way also, using mathematics, you can even prove that this system can be hacked within 1 hour or within 2 hours with the best computing resources available. So if you use the fastest computer on earth, probably that will have a computing technology. So it can execute one instruction, say some seconds or microsecond or nanosecond. So using that computer, how much this program will take to crack the username and password. So you can mathematically prove. That is actually a mathematical model, isn't it? So that is a mathematical model, but other models also. Say for example, when you use paper, to make airplanes. When we were kids, we used to make paper planes. We used to fly it. So they are actually models. Or when we use clay to construct something, or when you use cardboard and some other materials to construct the model of a house, again it's a model. Nowadays these softwares can be, so many softwares are there, they can be used to create models of a house. So suppose we want to construct a house or home, and when we approach an architect, he will show you a 3D image of 3D model of the intended house which exactly matches our requirements, number of rooms, the size of the room, shape, appearance, everything. So they are actually models, isn't it? So models are not the actual object, isn't it? But prototypes are more or less similar to the actual object. Then proof of concept. So proof of concept is what is it? What does it mean? Proof of concept. So whenever we launch a new idea, uh, something innovative for the first time, so we need to make sure that it is working. No, that is proof of concept. So before we, actually produce them, actually launch it in the market, before we, manufacture at a larger scale, actually we need to test whether it works or not. So for example, if you look at the example of that driverless car itself is a driverless car, before we launch it, launch that driverless cars to the market, to the before we open that to the public, or even before that, just after the idea takes off, idea was, formed, we need to test whether this will work or not. So many components are there now in driverless cars, electrical parts, mechanical parts, or if you look at the sensors, the proof of concept, what is the proof of concept that the sensors actually works? So that is that way. Now you have to prove that the GPS works. You have to prove that electrical parts works, isn't it? So, or another example, nowadays, 5G is coming to India. Foreign countries, it is already there. It started 5G. Nowadays, we all heard the news of Jio. Reliance Jio has tested this 5G, and with the company called Qualcomm Technologies. Qualcomm is a company based in US. They are actually experts in semiconductors and networks, wireless networks. So using the Qualcomm RAN, radio access network, Reliance has tested 5G, and it has claimed to achieve the speed of 1 GB, gigabits per second. So that is actually proof of concept. So the proof of concept of 5G in India. So the proof of concept that. So what is the proof of concept there? 5G is possible. It is working. It is possible in the test network. So the concept is okay. It is feasible. So that's the meaning of prototype. So is the difference clear to all of you? What is a prototype? What is a model? And what is proof of concept? Is this clear to all of you? Please give your feedback. If you did not understand anything, I'll explain it. Did you understand? Okay. So you understood? Yeah. Thank you. We will go ahead. So prototypes. So having understood those definitions or the difference between prototypes, models, and proof of concept, you can just read this PPT. There is nothing difficult or complex. So prototypes are working models of designed artifacts. They are tested in the same operating environments in which they are expected, because a driverless car, has to be tested in the real environment, on the real road with a lot of traffic. So only then we can we be sure about its functionality, whether it is working correct or not. A model is a miniature representation of something or a pattern of something to be made. There may be paper models, as I told, computer models, isn't it? 3D models, 3D model of a house, or a mathematical model or physical model. We use the models to illustrate certain behaviors or phenomena. Maybe when you construct a model of a house, what does that mean? It just gives you the appearance, the shape, the design. Proof of concept refers to a model of some part of a design that is used specifically to test whether a particular concept will actually work as proposed, because we are proposing something. So another example is when you do project, especially in 8th semester or 7th semester, you may be taking up some innovative idea, isn't it? Maybe so you are doing something for the first time. Nobody has ever thought of that idea before. So that is something new, innovative. But the experts, the evaluation team may be a little bit confused or anxious about how you are going to achieve that. So what you will do, you will create a proof of concept that it will actually work. That proof of concept may be mathematical model. Even this mathematical model can be used to work as proof of concept, because through mathematics, through already known laws, principles, and explanation, you can even prove that whatever you are going to support, whatever you are going to construct or make or establish will actually work, isn't it? I told the example of that hacking into a system. Can you hack into the system if the key size is 16 bits? or 256 bits or 512 bits, isn't it? So using mathematics, we can prove that. So that is a proof of concept that a system can be hacked, or proof of concept that a system cannot be hacked. System is safe. That's a proof of concept. Prototypes and models are not the same thing. The distinctions between prototypes and models may have, the difference is with the intent behind their making. So why do we create a prototype? Why do we create a model? Because prototypes are actual objects. Models are not the full-blown objects. And rather than the dictionary difference of these terms, the difference is with the intent of their making and the environment in which they are tested. Prototypes are intended to demonstrate that a product will function as designed. So they are tested in the actual operating environments or in a similar uncontrolled environments or that are close to, because you look at the beta software, beta version, they are released to the people, actual users, similar users. So we will get the real feedback. So they are tested in the actual environments. Models are intentionally tested in a controlled environments that allow the people to understand the particular behavior or phenomenon. An airplane prototype is made of the same material that has the same size, shape, and configuration as those intended to fly in that series, say Boeing or Airbus. That airplane prototype will be using the same material. Then only you can have the real test and experiment. Same size, same shape, isn't it? As that of a real aeroplane. Then we will conduct experiments and we'll conclude whether the aeroplane is safe or it is not safe, or some system is working, some system is not working. A model airplane would likely be much smaller. So on the other hand, a model airplane, a prototype will be exactly similar, but a model airplane can be smaller. It might be flown in a wind tunnel or for sheer enjoyment, but it's not a prototype. A prototype is the first of its kind. Model represents a device or a process. Testing prototypes and models and proving concepts. Proof of concept, I told, proof of concept testing, in which a new concept or a particular device or configuration can be shown to work in the manner in which it was designed. So this is an example of an old incident when Alexander Graham Bell successfully called his assistant from another room with his new gadget. Alexander Graham Bell had proven the concept of telephone. So that is a proof of concept that it is possible to call somebody who is distant through this technology, through this device. There's a proof of concept that even though he called from the nearby room, that's a proof of concept that it works. So it can be scaled, it can be extended to longer distances. So proof of concept means whether the concept is okay, whether the concept is feasible, scientifically okay, scientifically feasible, scientifically accurate. So that is the idea. Prototypes and models differ in their underlying reasons for being. Models are tested in a controlled or laboratory environments, and prototypes are tested in an uncontrolled or real-world environments. Prototypes, models, and proof of concept testing have different roles. When do we build a prototype, isn't it? So what are the issues we consider while designing a prototype? Obviously, the cost of building a prototype. If the cost is too high or too low, can be afforded. Ease of building a prototype. Is it easy to build a prototype, or is it difficult to build a prototype? Role that a full-size prototype might play in ensuring the widespread acceptance. So what is the advantage if we test a prototype, if we construct a prototype and we make that prototype, if we get the prototype tested, what is the advantage? And the number of copies of the final artifact that are expected to be made, and how many copies we are actually making. If you look at a driverless car, so many cars will be manufactured, and then it's not a loss if you go ahead with constructing or go ahead with manufacturing or making a prototype. It is actually not lost. It is actually not thrown out also, because that prototype also can be used. Why prototype aircraft and not prototype building? So this is one example, because in some cases we may go for making prototypes, in some other cases we may not go for prototypes, because when we actually we build a multi-storied building, we never build prototypes. That is true. But when we launch when we plan to launch a new airplane, we actually build the real prototype and we will get it tested, because it varies from situation to situation and case to case. And in the case of aeroplane, it is worth to construct the prototype, and because but one more feature is you have the provision of testing the quality, testing the strength of stability of the building as it is constructed. Oh yeah, it is there with the airplane also, but yeah, but sometimes that is what sometimes it's a trade-off. What are the factors we consider, and also multiple copies. How many copies are made? We will have so many copies of airplane, but we will not have multiple copies of the same building. So that is one aspect. We'll see what are the other factors. It is also in part that an economic issue because the cost of a prototype is economically justifiable when weighed against the potential losses. When we build prototypes of airplanes, those particular planes are not simply thrown away as losses after testing. They are retained and used as the first in series of the many such airplanes. They are actually used. Buildings do fail catastrophically during and after construction. However, this occurs so rarely that there is little perceived value in requiring a prototype testing of the building before occupancy. So building failures are rare in part because high rises can be tested, inspected, and experienced gradually as they are being built floor by floor. You can have the facility to test it floor by floor. And also number of copies, how many copies of, because in the case of building, it's only one copy, only one building of that structure, that shape. But in the case of other objects, other items, there may be multiple copies made in the case of aeroplanes. So we have already noted prototype aircraft are not discarded after their initial test flights. They are actually used. Sometimes we build prototypes of parts of large complex systems to use as models to check how well those parts work. So we use prototypes to demonstrate functionality in the real world of the object being designed, and we use models in the laboratory to investigate and validate the behavior or part of a system. So what are the guidelines for building models and prototypes? So the important questions we must ask are, what do we want to learn from the model or prototype? What is that we want to achieve? So using a model, I told no, the mathematical model. What is the purpose of the mathematical? Not only mathematical model, because mathematical in computer science, most of the time we can have mathematical models. This mathematical model, what is the aim of the mathematical model? To prove that it is secure, it withstand hacking, or when the sensors actually work, or you get the actual data. So what is the idea of making a prototype? It is to get a complete overview, complete feedback, real feedback of that object, that product. Who is going to make it? Whether are we going to make the prototype or are we outsourcing it? What parts or components can be bought? This is more or less with other disciplines, not with computer science. Or some parts, so say for example, if you look at hardwares, a lot of parts or components are involved. Then what parts or components can be bought? If you can purchase something online or offline, if you can purchase some parts instead of making them, say for example resistor or transistor or diodes or mechanical parts, some mechanical parts, maybe screws or nails or those things which can be, so it is worth it's effective to purchase them online, rather than making the resistor within our company. It is not worth. Maybe time, maybe we may not have that expertise. How and from what it is going to make? What are the materials to be used for making this model prototypes, and how much will it cost? The cost of that prototype. So all these factors are important while designing, whether going ahead with constructing prototypes and models. So the first question we have already discussed. That is the idea of constructing. What is the idea of constructing a model, and what is the idea of constructing a prototype? So next one, who is going to make it? So you can either assemble it in house or we can outsource it. So that depends upon our expertise. What is the expense and time? Do we have enough time? Do we have enough expertise? Do we have the money with us to make it in house? If you don't have any one of them, then we can surely outsource it. Sometimes it may be cheaper or faster to have specific item outsourced. For example, gears and printed circuit boards are likely to be gotten cheaper and faster when outsourced. So some mechanical or electronic parts are always, instead of making our own gears or our own printed circuit board, it is better to purchase it from outside. Can we buy parts or components? Yes. We can best buy them from suppliers than designing and making those particular items sometimes. For example, it's rarely worth the time, equipment, and expense to make nails, nuts, bolt, screws, transistor, pulleys, wheels, gears. Or similarly, electromechanical or optical components, resistors, capacitors, integrated circuits, ICs, LEDs, lenses, photodiodes. similar items can be bought instead of concentrating on to making them inside. And suppose if you want to use a few LEDs, you can purchase it for low cost, high good quality LEDs. But if you want to make or manufacture our own LEDs, we may not have that expertise, we may not have that equipment, we may not have that time, or we may not have that efficiency. So it is better. So it's again a trade-off. How and from this is the next question. How and from what will the model be made? True prototypes are typically made from the same material. As I told, the prototype on aeroplane is made or constructed using the same material that will be used for a real aeroplane. And those materials may change for the final design as a response to what was learned from the tips. So we construct a prototype and we undergo testing, and based on the feedback, we may change the material. So a model, on the other hand, can be constructed from whatever material will assist in answering the question for which the model was designed. Common materials for model construction are paper, cardboard, wood, plywood, polymers, polystyrene, acrylic. So many things are there. So we have two diagrams. One shows the model and one another showing the prototype of an artificial arm project. So this diagram I have taken from the PDF I shared recently, and where they are discussing the project that a group of students have done. They were working on an artificial arm project. So during the design, they built models and also prototypes. So this is a model. The so-called Team B's wooden model of their design for the Danbury arm support. The model was constructed to demonstrate and clearly the dual articulation of the arm motions that were to be supported. So just to show the arm motions, how it moves, its shape. So this is just a model. Look at that. Here it is not actually made using the material that we are planning to make for the final product. It's actually wood. So it's a wooden model. So here, what is the idea? What is the focus? What is the parameter which decides what it should be made of? What is the intent of this model? This model is just to show the arm motions. So this wood is enough. And if you have expertise in wood, you can construct using wood. If you want to use any other material, that is also okay. You can use aluminum or anything. That is fine. So it is your choice, isn't it? So this is actually a prototype. See, prototype, this is actually the prototypes of the Danbury arm support. So they are actually the final product, isn't it? That will be tested and experimented. So this is not wood. So we note that the model was built of wood because they could clearly demonstrate Team B's arm concept. So with that model. So when we built the model, the purpose was to exhibit or demonstrate the concept, arm movements. So we built a model. The prototypes were built largely of aluminum because the teams wanted to leave the prototypes behind so that other members can use them actually. So it is not thrown out. So it is actually the final product, more or less the final product, not the finished product, but with all the necessary features and functionality. So that cannot be cannot be waste, or it need not be thrown out. It can be used. So 3D printed. So 3D printing, probably I told 3D printing. So 3D printed parts can be very useful for communicating ideas to our client and can be created relatively quickly. So next figure shows the 3D printing of a screwdriver. 3D printer and machine version of a screwdriver. So top side you can see 3D printer machine. So they are actually, the complete screwdriver that is actually that's the output of a 3D printer. So you give the diagram, you give the 3D image, you give the 3D representation of the screwdriver to this 3D printer, and it will give you the output of this 3D object. So the second one is handmade one. Bottom screwdriver is handmade one. The 3D printer version took 4 hours to complete. In this example, it took 4 hours to complete, while the machine part can take 15 to 20 hours. So for a new machinist. The 3D printer version can be very useful for communicating overall size of the design and ergonomic features such as the depth of the grooves in the handle. Another question that we will consider is how much it will cost. Whether to go ahead with the manufacturing of the constructing particular model or prototype, how much it will cost. So it's a good, always based on the practice, it is said that always you should have a 10 to 15% surplus fund especially if this is a first ever model building. Even if you calculate the component prices of all the components, all the equipment, all the man hours, even then, ideal actual expense will be 10 to 15% more than that. So it is better if you have this planning in advance. So that is about calculating the cost. So this is a diagram. This is a comparison of proof of concept and prototype. Already we discussed this. So proof of concept, theoretical demonstration of a product or process or concept, whether it is theoretically possible. Prototype, very early draft of a product. Proof of concept determines whether an idea can be turned into reality, whether our idea is it practically possible. So sometimes when we have startups, nowadays many people are turning into entrepreneurs. So they have innovative ideas. So they all require this proof of concept because they should verify or they should verify their idea before they actually set out. Or in order to get funding, it might require some initial investment or initial funding requirement, say 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs. So how to get, say there will be funding agencies. So the funding agencies will not give money for all who approach them. So they need to actually have the proof of concept tested. So for that, so they should those students or graduates who aspire to be entrepreneurs, they should demonstrate the proof of concept to the funding team so that the funding team or funding experts, the evaluation team, are satisfied or they're convinced of the idea, convinced that this particular idea can be turned into reality, full-blown project. So that is proof of concept. So it verifies that the idea will function as envisioned. Identify the potential technical and logistical issues. Address how the proposed product or service will support organizational goals, not in order to explore the market demand. So prototype, very early draft, meant to turn a proof of concept idea into a slimmed down version of the end product that can be tested and evaluated for usability, functionality, and design. Prototype is not expected to have all the features and functions of a market-ready product, nor is it expected to contain all the usability or aesthetics of the final product. But necessary features definitely the products will have that. It gives the stakeholders, project managers, executives, and potential investors a draft of what the final project might be. Allows makers to determine how best to develop the product when it moves into full production. So we want to make 100 copies, 1,000 copies of the same product. So the prototype will give you enough evaluation, enough experiment, enough idea, enough feedback that these are the things to be changed. These are the minor corrections to be made here and there, so that you can have the real manufacturing of, say, in large quantities. So that is the idea. Is this clear? All the concept, is it clear to all of you? Proof of concept, what is proof of concept, what is model, what is prototype, and what are the rules behind designing whether to go ahead with prototype or model, and when do we decide, or in what cases we will build the prototype, in what other cases we will not build. Is it clear to all of you? Hello, please respond. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, thank you, students. So that is for today. We will wind up the session because 9:55. So we'll meet Monday, next class. Any doubt in between, you please ask me. I'll clarify it. I'll be happy to clarify. So thank you very much. We'll meet next class if no doubt. Thank you.